we read of the famous story in this week's Parsha of Yitzchak mistakenly giving a bracha to Yaakov that he intended to be giving to Esav. And the Mefarshim grapple with what did Yitzchak and who did Yitzchak think Esav really was. And there's definitely an approach that Yitzchak really didn't understand, and Yitzchak thought Esav was a great person, and he gave him this bracha of unique connection to God and unique mission. But many of the Mefarshim explain that Yitzchak understood that Yaakov was a spiritually lofty person, and Esav wasn't. Yitzchak wanted Esav to be able to connect to Hashem in a meaningful way for him. And he believed that Esav could connect to Hashem in a meaningful way, even if he wasn't the spiritual giant that Yaakov was. That was his intention to give the bracha to Esav. It turns out that as Rivka and Yaakov understood, Esav would not have channeled that bracha in the correct way, and therefore it was divine orchestration that the bracha didn't go to Esav, it ended up going to Yaakov. But the Sfas Emes points out that let's just think about this. If you understand that that was Yitzchak's thought process, that means his bracha, the bracha he gave to Esav, was tailor-made for meaningful and spiritual connection for someone who's not necessarily so inclined. That was the focus, that was the intent of Yitzchak's bracha to Esav. But it went to Yaakov. Now you could sit there and think to yourself, what does Yaakov need a bracha like that for? Yaakov is this spiritually attuned person. Yaakov was the Yoshev Oalim, the one who resided in the tent of theology. But the Sfas Emes just points out that if it goes to Yaakov, that means it goes to each and every one of his descendants. And that's us, my friends. There are people among us who are remarkably spiritually attuned. And then there's the rest of us. Sometimes we might hear ideas, we might hear thoughts, we might hear discussion of meaningful connection to Hashem. And we say to ourselves, that's a great idea, but that's not me. Says the Sfas Emes, that's the whole bracha that Yaakov received. That even for people who are not necessarily so spiritually attuned, Yitzchak unknowingly blessed him and his descendants, that we should always be able to find that spiritual connection. Have a wonderful Shabbos.